Hi you guys, it's Arielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today is part 2 of my Vinted unboxing and try on haul of a lot of Sézane pieces as well as some other vintage pieces and a lot of other French brands. It's a very exciting haul. I think if I had to choose a part that was my favorite, it would be part number 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave it linked down below. It's the video just before this one. And I'll also leave my own Vinted link down below as well. I know I forgot on part 1. I will not forget for part 2. And if you're not familiar with Vinted, it is basically like an online thrift store. It's an app that we use in Europe that's very similar to Depop that you have in Canada or the US, where you can buy and sell used clothing. And because it's just a bunch of girlies selling their clothes, the prices are very affordable. Like, it's not as professional, I think, as other sites like Vestiaire Collectif, for example. So it's a really nice way to refresh your wardrobe every season in both a sustainable and affordable way. We love Vinted here. I'm very excited for this haul. As always, please let me know what you think down below. I adore reading your comments. I adore reading your style tips and stuff. Like, sometimes I don't get it right. It does take me a while to really put together an outfit that I like, and sometimes, like, right off the bat, I don't get it. So I truly do love to hear your thoughts on all the pieces and on the outfits that I put together. We're really rounding the corner into fall, so I'm definitely going to start wearing these pieces out more often. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoy all the pieces that I picked out. Without further ado, let's get to our first package. Jean and I just got back from a weekend visiting his family, and I had 3 packages waiting for me upon my return, 2 of which are Sézane pieces. Package number 1. She's so cute. Here's what she looks like from afar. Another long wool skirt. This one is from a pretty popular brand in France called Comptoir des Cotonniers. It's 50% wool and 50% polyester. And the worst part is that the lining is 53% polyester and 47% viscose. But it is what it is. I really wanted to try out this brand. I got it in a size medium, and it actually has French, European, and US measurements on the tag. So it's a 38 French, size small US, and size medium European. So that's interesting. But yeah, she's very cute, and I think it'll match with not only the other packages I have to open, but also some of the other sweaters that you already saw me unbox. Also, in terms of pricing, oh, okay, I'm surprised. I thought I paid more, but she wanted 30. I offered 25 and she accepted. So I paid 25 with shipping and fees and stuff. It was probably more like 30, but that's actually not a bad price. I'll see if I can find a comparable skirt from Comptoir des Cotonniers and put the price up on screen, because generally speaking, this is a pretty pricey brand. Okay, I've thrown this skirt on with literally the only black long sleeve that I have in my closet. This is not how I envision this outfit. I envision it with a chunky wool sweater, but not only do I not have my winter clothes up here at the moment, they're like down below in storage, but it is 30 degrees. You can probably see the sweat dripping down my face. So it is what it is. Again, if I can try these outfits on at some point before putting this video out, like if it gets cooler in early September, fabulous. Until then, this is how I'm styling this outfit. Love it. Love the color, love the fit, love the pleats. I feel very chic. I envision this with like maybe a white chunky sweater and a belt and some boots. That's the vision. But even without, I love it. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's very chic, very fall. This is the first time that I've owned a long wool skirt that I liked. Again, Comptoir des Cotonniers is a very high quality brand. Like, they're known to produce stylish quality pieces. So I'm not surprised that I like the look of this. But yeah, I think this was 30 euros well spent. Package number 2. This one you might recognize if you love the brand Sézane, because this is actually one of their most popular cardigans, I think. It's called the Gaspa cardigan, and they're on their website like currently for, I believe, 99 euros. And I think I got this for a steal. Hold on. Yes, so she wanted 50 for this one, which I thought was a pretty good price, but She did list it as good condition, which generally means that it's defective. So I offered 40 and we ended up settling on 45, which is still really good to me because that is 65 euros off. But she did mention that she has worn it a couple times and there is like a little bit of light pilling stuff that would just happen naturally from wearing a cardigan 2 or 3 times. And I think I'm going to buy a D-pillar because this cardigan has pilling, the Burberry sweater has some pilling. I figure I could just buy like a €5 D-pillar and fix both sweaters up and have them looking brand new because other than that, this cardigan looks great. Now, for the Gaspa cardigans, this is one of a couple that I ordered. I wanted to test the colors and the sizes because I wanted the sweater to fit a little bit oversized. But when I was reading comments in different TikToks showing these cardigans, people were saying that they fit oversized already and that it's good to size down. So I don't know. I don't know what I should do. The issue is often I find like with my scoliosis, the buttons, the top buttons always end up looking like they're too tight on me. So I prefer to get cardigans a little bit oversized to have it look more seamless. This one I ordered in a size large. The second package should be in a size medium. By comparison, this one looks to be in pristine condition. This looks unused, which is crazy because I also think this one was a really good deal too. Okay, less of a good deal. It was 60 euros. But I figure like I'm saving 40 euros. It's absolutely fine. And I know that these cardigans always sell on Vinted, so I think I'm going to try them both on, pick the size that I like best, and I will put the other one up back on my Vinted. But yeah, I wanted to, for myself, try on the different sizes, and I thought it could be useful for you as well if you're also hesitating between the different sizes of the Gaspa cardigan. So I have the size large cardigan on first. I did really want to try it on with the skirt, but I figured that the easiest way to see the size difference between a large and a medium would be with jeans. So that's what we're going with. I might try it on with the skirt after. But yes, this is what the large looks like. I think, first thoughts, it looks a little bit bigger on me than what I wanted. I wanted oversized, but not baggy. Like, I feel like the lower portion is very loose and very long. Maybe if I tuck it in, that could help. No. No, honestly, I think that all the comments were correct. The cardigan is already oversized. There's no need to size up. Here's what it looks like on me for reference. If you're interested in this cardigan, I'm normally, you guys have seen this whole video and probably other ones, but I'm normally a size small, medium, French size 38. I don't have glowing reviews for this cardigan so far. Let's move on to the medium, but I actually wanted to quickly look at the materials. So this cardigan is 37% super kid mohair, 37% baby alpaca, and 26% polyamide. Let's see if the medium is the same. Yeah, exactly the same. Oh my gosh, this one's made in Italy. Wow. Okay, so is this one. And here is the size medium, which I think is a much better size for me. I think I could actually even maybe size down to a small if I wanted a more fitted look. I think she's cute. I think this is not a winning outfit, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try it on with the skirt in just a second. I'm sorry I'm so low energy, guys. We got no sleep this weekend. Like, Jean's nephews are 2 cute little boys and they're so fun, but they're so energetic. And it's just like the whole weekend we were emotionally, mentally, physically spending time with like toddlers. So I'm exhausted. But yes, before I melt, let me try it on with the skirt. I feel like a grandmother. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Comment below what is wrong with this outfit. I thought it would look so cute, but I literally feel like a grandmother. I think it's just like dated. It doesn't look flattering on me, and I don't know why. I'll have to Pinterest it maybe and get back to the drawing board. But I think what we learned from this experience is that the medium is the correct size for an oversized look, and small is the right size, or sizing down if you want something more fitted. I don't know. I do not know What's wrong? I feel crazy. Probably because I haven't slept. Also probably because it's so hot. We've got some mail. Just one today. We have to do the most exciting piece of this package first, which is this beautiful black Sézane turtleneck. We'll get to the price in a second because it was a really good deal, but there are 2 reasons that I had to have this turtleneck. Number 1, it doesn't look like the tight, high turtlenecks that I think make me look like an egg. And number 2, the composition of this sweater is 85% cotton and 15% wool. And as expected, it's made in Italy. Okay, I paid more than I thought I did for this top. It was 35 euros. The reason why that surprises me is because she listed it as in very good condition, and it is in very good condition. It's just that you can tell that it definitely has been washed a couple of times. Like the cotton feels a little bit used. It's not soft anymore. In the process of putting the turtleneck on, we are officially down 1 button. I don't think it's a problem because I can very easily stitch it back on. You can see it just came off the top of the cuff. And it also comes with 1 replacement button. So if it happens to another, then we're all good. Right off the bat, let me just tell you that this top is toasty. It is very warm. I didn't think it would be because it's only 15% wool, but it's like my body temperature has increased by 15 degrees. Anyways, I've paired it with the gray skirt from Sézane that you guys would have seen a couple packages ago. I think it's pretty cute. I think in the winter with a nice long jacket and some brown boots, I'll have quite the look. I mean, I don't think there's much else to say about this one. It is just a basic black turtleneck, but I am happy with the brand, with the quality, and the materials. And that's what's most important. Also, I didn't mention it, but I did get this in a size medium, and it fits me pretty well. But as with most medium Sézane pieces, and most medium pieces in general that aren't oversized, you can see it's not like the ideal length for my arms, but that's okay, I'm happy. Item number 2. This one is so off theme because it's actually a summer piece, but I couldn't resist. When I saw the color, when I saw the style, I couldn't resist. It's this pink 1-shoulder vintage piece from a brand called Lea Rome. It's a size 40, which in vintage translates to a size 38 or a size small medium. And it's actually made in France. Not just France, but made in Paris. Now, the seller listed it as a silk top, but she didn't show the materials tag, so I'm hoping that we can find it somewhere here. 100% silk. And the price of this one was 10 euros and 80 cents, which is more than fair, I think, for a made in France vintage 100% silk piece that looks to be in immaculate condition. It's always nice when you can find 2 or more pieces that you like from the same seller because then you can save on shipping. So I'm pretty pleased. Let's see what she looks like on. I have no words. I adore the color. I adore this top. Unfortunately, I love vintage pieces like this, but I am not vintage sized. So even though it does fit me well, like around the waist and stuff, it's even a little bit loose here, the arm dimensions are a little bit tight. This may cut off some circulation to my shoulder and armpit, but I don't think it's a problem that we can't solve with some tailoring. What can I say? This color is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. It's too bad we are 1 week away from September, so I don't know how much wear I'll get out of this year, but no, I really do like it. I love the bow, and the bow is just like a decor piece. It doesn't actually tie the top of this top together. Otherwise, I would just make this looser and by extension make this armhole looser. Like, it is just so weird that everything fits except for the tightness of the armhole, because even the back, like, I think it looks like it bunches up a little bit. But truly, I do think that proportions 30 years ago are not the same as the proportions today, especially if we're looking at the differences between Canada, North America, and France. We've got some mail, and not to get anyone overly excited, but I think that these are going to be the best Vinted packages that I've ever opened. Package number 1. I know which one this is because the paper part of the package has exposed the clear bubble wrap. And this one is definitely the most pricey of the three. I was wrong. It's green, not gray. Okay, so we have another Gaspa cardigan from Sézane, and what surprises me about this is I ordered it in a size small. I for sure thought this was coming in a size medium, but I'm not upset about it because this small definitely looks like the medium, like a standard medium. It doesn't look small. And I think ultimately after having tried on the large and the medium, I am gonna like the fit of a small best. I don't know if you can see from here, but it is truly in impeccable condition. I can't imagine this person wore this cardigan more than once or twice. And as expected, it's the exact same composition, 37% super kid mohair, 37% baby alpaca, and 26% polyamide, made in Italy. Let's talk price. Okay, so I'm not crazy. This girl listed the cardigan as a size medium. So I think that just further validates the whole idea that these cardigans do fit oversized. And even the seller thought that despite the label saying small, it felt, it looked, it fitted like a size medium. Anyways, the price I paid was 50 euros. 50 euros, that is such a good deal. Because as we learned with the other two cardigans, Sézane does sell these on their website for 100 euros. I will say that this one was a bit of a gamble on my part because I normally don't purchase from sellers that have 0 reviews because there is like a fear that they could be scammers. And so this seller, not only did she have no reviews, but she also listed her cardigan significantly lower than all the other sellers because there's a ton of Gaspa cardigans on Vinted. I would say the average one costs about 80 euros. You can find some that are 70, but it's rare to see a seller selling one in perfect condition for 50 euros. So I was hesitant. I looked at her other items and it looked like, you know, just a girl selling stuff out of her closet. Like the photos didn't look AI, they didn't look edited or professional, anything like that. So I think in the end, the gamble paid off because the sweater looks fabulous. Okay, here's the cardigan on, and I'm so confused because yes, the arms definitely are a little bit smaller, like they're slightly shorter and maybe a bit tighter, but the body of this cardigan is literally the exact same as the medium one. Unless I'm crazy, like I'll put a side by side to show the difference, but this literally still feels like a size medium. I just think it's crazy that if I want something more fitted, I'd have to order like extra small. Maybe that's a style of this cardigan, to be a little bit baggy. But voila, here's what she looks like on me. I really, really like the color. I don't think I own anything in teal, but I think it's a nice blue for fall. I will say I was not prepared for this cardigan to be so long. I guess because my torso is a little bit shorter than average, like my whole height is in my legs. That's why it looks a little awkward on me. Like most women that I see wear this cardigan just wear it exactly like this over a pair of jeans and it looks fabulous. Whereas I feel like it leaves me kind of shapeless. Package number 2. This one hurt. This one was pricey. So it's a mock neck turtleneck in charcoal gray from Sézane. Brand new, unworn. With the tag. And it's 100% yak wool. Made in China, which is interesting because most of the wool is made in Italy. Let me show you from afar before we talk about the price. I mean, she really is brand new. She looks very luxurious, very soft to touch. I do think it's going to be a staple in my fall and winter wardrobe this year. Convincing myself that I love it even before I try it on. So this one was more than I would have liked to spend, I'll be honest. The seller listed it for 100 euros. I offered 90 and we settled on 95. The reason I accepted is because the name of this sweater is the Lauren sweater, and it is on the Sézane website at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, for 160 euros. Yes, 160. And I just looked on the Canadian Sézane website, it's 280, and the American website, which is 195. So while it is expensive, it's still 60 euros cheaper than what I would find on the Sézane website. It's brand new with tags. I love the materials. I'm comfortable enough at this point with the Sézane clothing line that I'm confident it's gonna fit. All that's left is to try it on. I think if I had to use one word to describe how I'm feeling, I would say devastated. So here's what she looks like on. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. But what is this? What are these arms? Like, you can even see they're not even close to meeting my wrist. I hate sweaters like this. And it is so much shorter than what I thought. Like, I double checked. I looked at all the pictures of the models and it looked relatively long. Honestly, that part wouldn't bother me if I also didn't feel like the arms were too short. Like, imagine you're writing, "Hello, my whole wrist is exposed. I'm reaching for a dish. My entire forearm is open." You guys will have to let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like, maybe I'm over-exaggerating. It feels like it doesn't fit. Like, I think it's disappointing to spend 100 euros on a sweater that feels like it doesn't fit. At least this is a learning experience for everybody. If you were also looking at this model on the Sézane website, now you have your answer if you were wondering about the arm length. Honestly, everything else is fine. Like, I love the turtleneck. I love the materials. And actually, the length doesn't even bother me. I like that it's flowy. It's very comfortable. I just think that on my body type, an arm length like this looks like I've purchased the wrong size. And I think when you spend 100 or 160 euros, you don't want it to look like you've purchased the wrong size. Needless to say, this is going right back on Vinted. And package number 3, probably the one I'm the most excited for, the most intrigued by, probably the most rare. I don't even have the words. She is in perfect condition and thank goodness, but she looks like she's gonna fit. You know, I always get nervous about vintage pieces because I never know if I've picked the right size. They could size a little small, but this definitely looks my size. Here she is from afar. It's a cute mini pleated moment. Now this one was a deal if I ever did see one. The seller listed it for 65 euros. I offered 50. I just threw it out there and she actually accepted, which is very cool because before I clicked pay, I Google reverse image searched the skirt and I found it on Vestiaire Collectif. Everybody put your guesses in for how much they're selling it for. If you guessed 400 euros, you would be correct. Now, I didn't buy it because it was a great deal, because it's a designer piece. Actually, I might own one other Valentino piece, but it's not necessarily the brand name that attracted me. I spent probably an hour trying to find a gray wool pleated skirt, and this one was the cutest one I found, and it was also exactly on par in terms of price with every other piece, like every other pleated wool skirt, whether it was vintage or not. And honestly, not only did I like the pleats, but I loved the little velvet bow detail. And I'll be honest, I guess the fact that it is Valentino sort of reassures me that it's going to be good quality. So yeah, while it definitely is a steal in terms of like designer pieces, I wouldn't say that's necessarily like a huge factor in my mind when I'm buying something off Vinted, but it is cool to know that I could resell it for 400. All I can say is thank goodness we have Valentino to save the day. A moment for the skirt because she's beautiful. She's magic. I'm speechless. I love it. I love it. Whenever I buy a mini skirt, I'm always worried that it's going to be too short on me, but I think this is the perfect size. It goes great with tights. It's warm. It's thick. You can tell it's good quality. I love the bow. No notes. Literally 0 notes. I'm obsessed with this skirt. I think this is your sign to go out and buy a wool gray pleated skirt for the fall. Like, it's so cute. I feel beautiful. I I'm obsessed. I think as well I'm really excited to sort of play around with this new style of skirt because I've really never owned anything like this before. And the first look that I throw together is just like a tight black turtleneck. It's the easiest thing to do. It's also the only thing I have at the moment since all my winter and fall clothes are still in storage. But I think this skirt could look good with a chunkier wool sweater, different shoes. I'm excited to play around with it. And after the sadness, the deception of the gray Sézane sweater, I'm happy to be ending on this gorgeous moment. We've got some mail, 2 new packages. One, the small one, is boring. It's a basic, I'll be honest, it'll be a quick one to unbox. But the bigger one has some interesting pieces, including a dress that I cannot wait to wear this fall. And I can't wait to pair with my new boots. Package number 1. It's just this plain, basic, beige square neck tank top from Abercrombie & Fitch. I paid €4 for this one. With shipping and the vintage fees, it was more like €9. Is that a steal? No. But with all the cardigans that I've ordered from Sézane, I realized that I don't have anything to wear underneath that doesn't make the neckline look kind of weird. I don't like wearing the high white t-shirts with like, yeah, the boat neck, the scoop neck Sézane cardigans. I think it looks a little bit cheap underneath. Maybe I don't have the right t-shirt, but yeah, that is the reason why I bought this. However, I will say right off the bat, I forgot the cardinal rule when ordering anything from a North American brand, anything from Abercrombie & Fitch, is that the size medium does not equal a European size medium or a European size 38, French size 38, I should say. Typically, a French 38 will be a small or a small medium, and a size 40 will be a true North American medium like this. I'm a size 38, so I fear this may fit a little looser than I wanted, especially because this is just supposed to be a tank top underneath my cardigans. I really wanted it to be like skin tight, basic, seamless, like you can't even notice it kind of thing. So we'll see, but I do have quite a few dresses from Abercrombie & Fitch, and all of them are in size small. I think I even have a size extra small. So, okay, I spoke too soon with the sizing because I do think that the medium fits me pretty well. It's nice and tight. That's exactly what I wanted, or how I wanted this tank top to fit. I think maybe just the straps are a little bit long, like they almost feel a little loose. But no, I think medium was the correct size. I think we're good on that front. I mean, there's not really much else to show you. I think I will quickly grab one of the Sézane cardigans and throw it on to just make sure this is serving the purpose that I wanted it to. I mean, there's really nothing special to it. It's just that I was finding if I wore the cardigans with a t-shirt, I didn't like the look of this neckline being covered with like a white top. And if I just wore the cardigan without anything underneath, I was stuck if it got too hot in a coffee shop or too hot in a museum. I couldn't just take the cardigan off because nothing was underneath. So yeah, this tank top serves the purpose well, I think. Not that I want to continue to drone on about this piece because it really is just very basic, but I would be curious to know what you wear under your cardigans. I feel like I'm struggling with what exactly to pair a nicer cardigan with when the focus point of the top is the cardigan and not necessarily what you're wearing underneath. So yeah, if you have any tips on that front, I would be interested. This second package is much heavier. This package is actually wrapped really nicely and everything smells exceptionally clean. The clothes are nicely folded. I have a good feeling about this one. So the first item that I ordered is this velvet oversized blazer from Zara. I'll step back so you can see. It could be because I'm watching the Girls Next Level podcast with Holly and Bridget, but this is really reminding me of like Hugh Hefner's Playboy robe. The blazer is from the Zara Basics collection. It says made in Spain, and I got it in a size medium. This one was not pricey. This piece was only €6, and that completely makes sense because I wasn't necessarily looking for a velvet blazer, but the picture looked really nice. And because I was already ordering something from this seller, I figured why not just add on this second piece, take a chance. Who knows, I might really like it. Like if you're already paying for shipping, if you find an affordable piece like this for €6, then I normally add it to my cart. It's been a long time since I've searched for Zara anything on Vinted. There was a period in my life where I was obsessed with Zara blazers, but I think once you wear enough of Zara, you kind of realize that the pieces are made pretty cheaply. They don't last, they pill incredibly fast, and it's just not worth it to buy anything that deteriorates so quickly. Like, yeah, there's a few pieces I think that I bought during my first few years when I moved to France. I remember when I did my first semester here, I was in Grenoble, and it was my first time like really living in France, and I just needed to look as French as possible. I needed to look like the French girl stereotype. So I did do some damage at Zara, and like one or two pieces have lasted me since those shopping spree days. So yeah, I don't normally buy from Zara. I don't think that the majority of their pieces are high quality. I don't like that they deteriorate so fast, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised with this blazer. That said, you can already see like there are pretty significant signs of wear and tear on the sleeves, like just where the arm folds at the elbow. I think what we can learn from this blazer is that we shouldn't give in to our shopping impulses, and that it's best to wait and think about it, weigh the pros and the cons for at least a day, even if it's cheap. Like the reason why I didn't think about buying this is because it was €6 and I was already paying for the shipping because of the dress. And I will admit that the photo that the seller posted made this blazer look very bougie, very luxurious. And as soon as I put it on and I felt the material, it was like a flashback to every other blazer from Zara that I've purchased that I haven't even worn once. I don't think on camera it looks as bad as it does in real life, and I don't think it looks as bad as it feels. So you might go into the comments and be like, Arielle, it's not that bad. I know it might not look that bad on camera, but it doesn't feel good. Like the material is not stretchy. I feel like I cannot move my arms or I will rip the back of the blazer. I'll rip the arms. Like it does not feel comfortable. I think the belt is really not great quality. Like I think this blazer, because it is a little oversized and a little bit longer, you do need a belt to cinch in the waist, but something that has a little bit more substance, something a little bit more fun, like, I don't know, with a buckle, or it's just that the velvet belt is flimsy. It doesn't look very luxurious. It just looks like a Zara belt. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but it looks like a fast fashion waist belt. It doesn't look like something that has structural integrity. It doesn't look like it's meant to last more than one or two wears. The collar is flimsy. It's not sitting as straight as I'd like it to. It really does look like a bathrobe. Like it looks like Hugh Hefner's bathrobe. I think that's a style blazer that I would really like to own, just at a higher quality level, like something with more structure to it, maybe with shoulder pads, with a material that is thicker and that holds a shape better than this flimsy housecoat velvet. I hope I'm communicating properly with my feelings on this blazer, but I am disappointed in myself for buying this. I wish I'd thought about it. I wish I had remembered all of the Zara pieces that I have bought in the past that didn't last, that I never even wore. I remember 4 years ago, I bought a Zara blazer full price. It was something like €70. I wore it once. And that's exactly the kind of shopping and fashion that I'm trying to steer away from. I want pieces that are comfortable, that are going to last me a long time, and that I'm going to reach for in my closet time and time again. So I'm sorry for the rant. And my search for a higher quality velvet blazer continues. Item number 2 is the real steal. This is the real piece that I wanted pretty badly from this seller. It looks a lot more purple on camera, but it's a little bit more subtle in real life, I think. Let me stand back so you can see. It is this gorgeous, real suede purple mini dress from the 70s. I just thought it was so interesting. I love the buttons. I love the stitching in like an opposite color, the white stitching. I think the pockets are adorable. One more thing that I'll add that is a little unfortunate, hopefully you can see on camera, but there is some discoloration on the pockets. Like right here, the rim of the pocket looks a little dirty. So I think I will take this to a leather cleaner to try and get it refreshed, I want to say, because there are other places on the dress that look a little dirty. The problem with anything leather, anything suede, is that you have to take it to a specialty cleaner, of course, and it's typically pretty pricey. Last year, I got my suede, it's not trench coat length, it's not waistcoat length, it's a little bit longer. I got that cleaned, and it cost me 100 euros. And again, it was thrifted, right? Like I paid 25 euros for this leather jacket, a steal. But when you add on the cost to get leather cleaned, it's almost the same price as buying that same leather jacket or leather dress full price. Speaking of price, I ended up paying 22 euros for this dress, which I think is very reasonable given the quality and the beauty. I was almost debating writing to the seller and just telling her right off the bat I want to return everything, because I always inspect Vinted clothes before I put them on. Like I always check generally for stains, for holes, and of course for bed bugs. And as I was looking at this dress, it just became so apparent to me that there are a ton of stains and marks and dark spots that I'm not even sure a professional cleaner could get out. But then I put it on, and I hope it shows on camera, but this dress is everything. It is so cute. I think it fits me perfectly. I love the length. It is a little short, and the buttons don't go all the way down, so I'm gonna have to be careful. But I think it's beautiful. I think the color is beautiful. The stitching's beautiful. I think it just really suits my body type. And for the moment, I've just thrown on this black long sleeve. Again, I haven't switched my winter and summer wardrobes yet, so I don't have everything in my closet. I don't have a lot to pick from. In my mind, I think I imagine this with a white blouse, maybe with puffy sleeves to match the white stitching and to make it feel a little bit less dark. I think the black long sleeve underneath the dark purple is a bit too much. I feel like I'd prefer it if it was, yeah, like a white blouse underneath. And I think the collar could be a little bit more fun than just this plain neckline. And it's good because I think I'm actually going to refilm a second part. I'll insert Arielle here, but I want to try this on with my boots that I won't be getting until the end of September. So then we can really make a complete look with a blouse. Hopefully I'll find one, and my boots. But yeah, I love it. I love this shape. It's interesting because it really does remind me of a type of dress that you would see in older photos of the 70s. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't born in the 70s. I wouldn't know, but this is sort of exactly what I picture when I think 70s in terms of length and also style. Like, it's not the fit and flare that we had in the 2010s. It's not like a straight fit that we have on a lot of mini dresses now. It's sort of like almost this drop waist flare. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I just think it's very cute. Good morning, you guys. I'm whispering because it's very early and we're not in Paris. We're in Arles this weekend. I'm filming something for my main channel. We're doing a tour of the factory for La Botte Gardienne. It's a whole other story if you want to see the video and the vlog of Arles. It'll be on my main channel, but I want to wear this shirt to the visit because I'm going to interview a couple people and I want to look cute. So I haven't even unboxed it. I picked it up in Paris, put it in my suitcase, and now we're here. So hopefully This will match the dress I'm wearing this afternoon. And I bought this as soon as I opened the purple suede dress. I was feeling very 70s inspired. I'll put a picture on screen of what I was aiming for, but yeah, I hope this one looks cute. Okay, this is what she looks like. She is a white cotton blouse from Maje. It was 60 euros in a size 2, which is like a size medium. I can hear our neighbors beside us. They have kids. But yeah, it's just these cute balloon sleeves, and I'm hoping this is going to look nice under obviously the purple suede dress that I already unboxed, but also the jean dress that I brought on this trip. I would have loved to wear the purple dress, but I haven't gotten it cleaned yet, so okay. Bye. See you later. All right, we have our last set of Vinted packages. I have to, of course, give a shout out to Jean, who picked these up for me, and there is one quite large and heavy package. So thank you, Jean. You're the best. I appreciate you. Let's unbox them. We'll start off with the smallest package, save the biggest for last. It's probably the most exciting, if I can remember correctly. Also, you guys, my bangs are not cooperating today. I don't want to hear it in the comments. I can't get them to hang straight, and I could have washed them, but the sun is setting. It would take 30 minutes for them to dry, so this is where we're at. It's unfortunate, but it had to be done because we have to open these packages. I really hope the beauty of this blouse is coming through on camera because it's just so elegant. The details are stunning. You have this really pretty flower embroidery that sort of borders the entire blouse. And you can see that there's also this sort of triangular pattern all throughout. I'll try stepping back, but the sun is pretty much set, so I'm not sure what the lighting is like from all the way over here. I bought this blouse at the same time as the other one, so right after I tried on the purple suede mini dress, and I think I mentioned it, but once I tried on that dress and I Pinterested and everything, I decided that I really wanted to grab a couple blouses with balloon sleeves to pair with that mini dress. And so I already ordered one. I wasn't sure about the sizing. I wasn't sure about the style. And in the pictures, it almost looked like the sleeves were 3/4. And I really wanted something like full length for the winter. So that's why I ordered this second blouse. It definitely does look like the sleeves are going to be a little bit longer than the other one. And I think these sleeves are also a little bit more balloony, which I like. It'll be exciting to see how it looks on. I don't know if I mentioned the brand yet, but it is a blouse from Maje. And I got it in a size 2, which I would say is like the equivalent to a size medium. I don't own any tops from Maje other than this blouse and the other one. I do own a couple pairs of their jeans, and their jeans are really high quality. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the blouse is equally as high quality. In terms of price, I paid 50 euros for this blouse, and it was listed as in excellent condition, and it definitely is. Doesn't even look like it's been worn. And the reason why I decided that 50 euros was okay is because I Google reverse image searched it, and I found it on Maje.com, like for the US, and I saw it listed at $295. That's without taxes, so I'm assuming with tax it's like 330. So I thought 50 euros was a really good deal for this top. And in terms of materials, it's 100% cotton, and the embroidery, or I think they call it lace. Yeah, lace is 100% polyester. Okay, listen, she's gonna look a little goofy with my shorts on, but I figured this was a nice way to show you what the blouse looks like in all of its glory with all the details, and then I will put the purple suede dress over top. But I really wanted you to be able to see all the beautiful lace and the details and stuff. I do think that the balloon sleeves are a bit much if you don't pair it with the right pair of pants or skirt or dress. Like really with these shorts, this was not the vision, but overall, I mean, I love this blouse, and I'm also really surprised because when I looked up the Maje sizing guide, they said that the size 2 could fit a little small. Like it's between a small and a medium. erring on the side of small, but I actually think that the size 2 is more like a medium. Like I think this fits me pretty perfectly. It's not tight. I have space to expand if I eat a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that if you were also a little confused by the Maje size guide. I think it's size 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I was a little bit worried 2 might be a bit small on me, but no, it's great. And what also surprises me is the length of the arms. I have abnormally long arms. I do wonder how the petite French girls are handling these sleeves, but for me, perfect. I love the waist, how it all comes in nicely to give a bit of shape. And there's also a zip on the side. It's not just a button up or like a pullover. There is a zip, which I think speaks to the quality of Maje pieces in general. But yeah, let's try it on with the dress. Okay, I wanted to love this together. I don't think that I do. I feel like the blouse looks like it's from another time period than the dress. Like I think the dress really does scream 70s. I think that the blouse with these really long cuffs screams like Regency era. I feel very Bridgerton with this blouse, and I'm not so sure it matches the vibe of the dress. I also think that because these little armholes on the dress are quite small, like it's very tight to my armpit, I want to say, you have this weird scrunched up look or bunched up look here with the sleeves and also here around the neckline. So I don't know. I think this is a miss. I think I need to go back to the drawing board to find the correct blouse to put under this dress, but it's not a loss because I still really like the blouse and I think it would look very cute with a nice pair of jeans. Package number 2. Okay, everything about what I just unboxed surprises me because it's really not what I was expecting. This skirt is so heavy. I don't know what it's made with, but there is structure to this skirt, okay? It is heavy. And I'm on the inside looking for the tag, like with the brand, with the size, and there's nothing. Then I looked on the button, and this is what I see. But other than that, I don't see any other indication of when, where, with what, by who this skirt was made. So let me read you what the seller posted on her Vinted. And let me just preface this by saying that just like with the Valentino skirt, I wasn't specifically looking for a Givenchy skirt. In Vinted, in the search bar, I was looking for a 100% gray wool skirt. And these high-end brands ended up being around the same price as like high fashion brands like Levi's, or I mean, that's not an example because they don't do wool skirts, but it ended up being the same price as all the other skirts. So I just thought, why not buy the luxury skirt if it's the same price as everything else? So anyways, in her post, she wrote pleated skirt from Givenchy in a size 38. Then the second line says haute couture sur mesure, which translates to tailor-made haute couture. Fit to measure, measure to fit. Basically tailored exactly to her body. And this intrigued me because I used to work for Chanel and it was only the most elite clients with the most money who could afford the tailor-made products. Most people just purchase ready-to-wear clothes off the rack. It's really rare that you have someone purchase something from the haute couture collection because if I remember correctly, and if it's the same between all the fashion houses, the haute couture fashion shows or the pieces are a lot more rare than the ready-to-wear lines that you see, the ready-to-wear fashion shows that we all see when it comes to like fashion week and stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm explaining that correctly, but it definitely intrigued me to own a piece that was tailor-made and part of an haute couture collection. I can't even imagine how much this would have cost. I know for Chanel, like the tailor-made dresses were in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not that I think a mini skirt would cost that much, but it's very intriguing indeed. But yeah, anyways, all that to say that aside from the button that says Givenchy, there is no tag. Let me just flip everything inside out and we'll be 100% sure. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside, so I am just going to take her word for it. And I do think she's being honest because this feels like an incredibly high quality piece of clothing. Like, even with the buttons, the zipper, the material, it just does feel very luxurious. Now, when it comes to price, the seller had it listed at 50 euros, and I thought I would try my luck by offering 40, and she accepted, which shocked me. So yeah, I paid 40 euros for an haute couture skirt. I'm so excited to try it on. All right, so I'm trying to put these pieces into looks that I envision. Like when I purchased the skirt, I had a vision, which essentially included a red top, a red sweater with the navy blue skirt and navy blue tights and my boots. I don't have navy blue tights, I don't have my boots, and this is also not the belt that I wanted. It's not even my size. I've had to tie it in the back. But what I think this means is I've come to a point in my wardrobe where I have all the pieces that I really like. At this point, I need to sit down. I need to go down to our storage unit and bring up all my fall and winter clothes. And I need to make 20 different outfits and decide what accessories I need, what pieces I need to complete these outfits. In this case, for example, I would like to get a nicer, more elevated looking navy blue belt and navy blue tights, of course. But yeah, I think while I can't exactly put together the look I want, I do feel like in terms of my wardrobe, I'm at a point where it's pretty much complete. I'm just missing a couple pieces here and there. All that to say, back to the skirt, I think it fits pretty well. In terms of waist, it could not be a better fit. It's like it was made for me. The only thing I'm not loving about the skirt is the length. I would just personally prefer to have this as a mini skirt as opposed to an almost knee length. And I prefer that for two reasons. I mean, number one, aesthetically, I think that skirts that aren't mini, that are too close to my knee, make my legs look a little bit bigger than they are. I just think it's not a flattering look. I don't look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, wow, I look so cute. I'm like, oh, I don't like my legs. So I think that's issue number one in terms of this length. And issue number two is that because my torso is so short, having such a long skirt and then trying to pair it with a sweater or a top, whether it's tucked in or not, I think looks very strange given that this part of my outfit is so long. I don't know if any of that made sense, but what I can tell you is that this is definitely a piece I want to keep. I just want to have it altered to fit my vision, which does scare me, I'll be honest. Having this altered scares me because I feel like if I were to shorten the hemline, then I'd ruin the integrity of the skirt, and I don't want to take a luxury piece and ruin it through tailoring. So I'm going to think about it. This is one where I would love to hear your thoughts. And our last package for today's video, it's the biggest, so probably the best piece to finish with. You guys are going to lose your minds when I tell you the price I paid for this. But basically, it is this gorgeous coat from the brand called Margaux Lonnberg. I don't know why I said Margaux like it's French. I'm pretty sure this is not a French brand. Okay, I was semi-wrong. The owner, the woman who created the brand, Margaux, is part French, part Danish, part Swedish, and part Finnish. But all of her pieces are designed in Paris and I believe made in France. I'm not sure if all her pieces are made in France, but I'm 99% sure this coat is. Okay, before I go hunting for the materials tag with the location of where this is manufactured, let me just stand back and show you this masterpiece. I have set the camera up in a very weird spot. Hopefully you can see through my jungle of plants here. But she is this beautiful winter coat, if I'm not mistaken. She's a wool coat. And it comes with a matching belt So there's the tag, you can see the brand, and it says all their creations are designed in Paris. And then when I look at the tag, it says 80% wool, 20% polyamide, and made in France. So let me tell you a little story of how I ended up purchasing this jacket. When it comes to coats in general, I either buy wool coats if I'm looking for something a little bit more dressy, or I'll buy like a down-filled sports coat if I'm looking for something a little bit more versatile for more athletic activities. The reason why when I search for the more elegant coat, I want wool is because I get so cold in the winter that I really need a material that is going to keep me toasty when I'm outdoors. So that was my number one criteria. Then I stumbled onto this coat, which already matched sort of the style and aesthetic that I was going for. And the seller listed the coat at 130 euros. I offered 120 and she accepted. So I ended up paying 120. Now, this is what I'm saying about Vinted being a really great app to use if you're looking for affordable but high-end pieces that are secondhand, because it's not professional like Vestiaire Collective. Sellers set their price and they might not remember what they paid for a jacket. They might not even remember what the jacket is made of. And I think that was the case for this seller, because when I Google reverse image searched it, I found it on sale for 628 euros. 628. I paid like a fifth of that. And another thing as well is what kind of turned me off this coat at first is the seller listed this collar as fake fur. And I don't really like to wear fake fur. I don't think it's durable and I don't think it's warm. Voila. I don't have anything against wearing real fur if it's vintage, if it's already produced, if it's already been used. Like, I don't see a problem with repurposing fur pieces. Like, the alternative of just throwing them away, I don't think is great either. So all that to say, I initially hesitated because she listed the collar as fake fur. But then when I Googled the coat, I found that this is actually a shearling collar. Shearling? Shearling collar, which is wool, like real wool. So I'm assuming she didn't have the tags anymore. She forgot that it wasn't a fake fur collar, that it was real wool. And so once I saw that, I decided to spend the 120 euros, which I think was honestly a fantastic deal. I still can't even get over that I paid a literal fraction of the cost of this jacket brand new. I am so relieved. Let me tell you why. Number one is when it comes to outerwear, buying a size 38 in France always scares me, because it's rare that a size 38 coat is wide enough for me. Like, my shoulders are usually quite a bit larger than size 38 outerwear. And not just that, but as we know, typically size 38 doesn't go all the way to my wrists, which is problematic when it comes to outerwear, because I do think it looks quite goofy when you can see my whole forearm exposed from a winter jacket. It's also quite cold. So number one, I'm happy it fits. The second reason why I'm so relieved is because this collar is nice and tight around my neck. The whole reason why I'm switching coats, because I really do love my old winter coat. It's like this beautiful green wool floor length coat. It's that even when you button it up, even if you wear a belt, the two sides of the coat don't come in tight enough. And I was just so cold. If I wasn't wearing a giant scarf, like, the wind would just get in all over my face and upper body and it would make me freezing. So even though the coat was aesthetically pretty, it really wasn't practical, and I actually hated wearing it in the winter because I was freezing every time I put it on. But this, we love. We love. I feel toasty. I mean, the only downside for someone with a body type like mine with these types of coats is that if I were to wear this with a skirt or a dress, the dress almost disappears underneath the coat because the coat isn't quite long enough to be a long coat. It's not really a short coat. So yeah, that's my only hesitation, is that if I were to wear this to like a nice restaurant or something, I would feel a little bit inappropriate, because I know as I walk, my dress might rise up and it would look like I'm not wearing anything under the coat, which I'm very self-conscious of as a tall person. But yeah, I really do like this designer. This coat feels like it's very well made, very warm. I like the materials, and I'm very curious to know what her other pieces look like that aren't outerwear. So maybe for a future Vinted haul, I will grab a couple of her pieces that are just like ready to wear fashion. But yeah, I'm in love. I can't wait for it to get really cold in Paris so I can whip this bad boy out. So I guess that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I very much look forward to seeing what you think down below in the comments. Again, I'll leave my Vinted down below as well if you want to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.